Hi, everybody. I have my Lucky Urantia shirt on today, so I'm having a really good day. So I just want to, I'm going to read to you from the Urantia book here. But first, a little bit from Light the Flame by Andrew Harvey. Today is May 12th, and this section is by Andrew Harvey. Okay, Divine Mother, give me your eyes so I can see myself through them and see how holy in your eyes is my soul, and how holy in your eyes is my heart, and how holy and sacred in your eyes is my body even. My body is even sacred in your eyes. Help me be as merciful and generous with myself as you would always want me to be. Help me honor myself as I have found to my amazement you honor me. Help me live and work from the peace and balance and compassion from which you live and work. Help me in these days, Mother, so I can at last truly become the instrument you need me to become, the sacred instrument of your compassion in action that you created me to be, and that I already am in your holy and illuminated eyes. Wow, okay, so this is the divine feminine. This is so wonderful. Love myself because you love me. I've had a hard time loving and caring for myself. It's been a hard path for me. Hard thing to do. Man. Yep. Love myself. Okay. Because I already am this instrument of your compassion in your eyes. Okay. Help me honor myself. You honor me to my amazement. You honor me. And I'm not that great. I'm not that, I know, but I am. I have to take care of myself. I have to love myself. I want to be this instrument that my Holy Mother wants me to be. I want to be my best self. And today I'm here for you for the next 20-25 minutes or so to read to you and inspire you and help you to be your best self, be your divine instrument. Okay. And I'm doing it with coffee. Yes. All right. Okay, so we're on paper 4 in the Urantia book. Paper 4, section 1, the universe attitude of the Father. Okay. Right away I'm thinking, the attitude of the Father is constant. You know, we have different attitudes. Our attitudes shift and change, but the Father has a consistent, regards us consistently. At the same time, the Father split himself into the 3 and then into all the myriad things. So, but the Father is still constant, even though it's manifested in so many different forms. Right. Okay, let's read it. For ages, the inhabitants of Urantia have misunderstood the providence of God. There is a providence of divine outworking on your world, but it is not the childish, arbitrary, and material ministry many mortals have conceived it to be. The providence of God consists in the interlocking activities of the celestial beings and the divine spirits who, in accordance with cosmic law, unceasingly labor for the honor of God and for the spiritual advancement of his universe children. Can you not advance in your concept of God's dealing with man to that level where you recognize that the watchword of the universe is progress? Through long ages, the human race has struggled to reach its present position. Throughout all these millenniums, Providence has been working out the plan of progressive evolution. The two thoughts are not opposed in practice. Divine Providence is never arrayed in opposition to true human progress, either temporal or spiritual. Providence is always consistent with the unchanging and perfect nature of the supreme lawmaker. Okay? Unchanging and perfect nature, the consistent attitude of love, right? And service. God is faithful and all his commandments are just. His faithfulness is established in the very skies. Forever, O Lord, your word is settled in heaven. Your faithfulness is to all generations. You have established the earth and it abides. He is a faithful creator. There is no limitation of the forces and personalities which the Father may use to uphold his purpose and sustain his creatures. The eternal God is our refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. Oh, he's there to catch us when we fall, when we make mistakes. He catches us and rights us. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Behold, he who keeps us shall neither slumber nor sleep. We know that all things work together for good to those who love God. For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open to their prayers. Because he hears us. Yes. God upholds all things by the word of his power. And when new worlds are born, he sends forth his sons, and they are created. God not only creates, but he preserves them all. God constantly upholds all things material and all things spiritual. There is stability in the midst of apparent instability. There is an underlying order and security in the midst of the energy upheavals and the physical cataclysms of the starry realms. So all this chaos going around here, all this confusing, and God is steady underneath all that. When we rely on that, that's there. It's always there. The Universal Father has not withdrawn from the management of the universes. He is not an inactive deity. Okay, and this is part of what I struggled with too is imagining, well, what is God then if God gives away all his power and all his, but he doesn't lose anything by giving himself away. Okay, so that seems strange, but that's materialistic thinking that we have to overcome. He doesn't lose anything by giving away his power. Hold on a second. Oh yeah. Okay, that's all right. Okay, no problem, no problem. Okay. Right. He is not an inactive deity. If God should retire as the present upholder of all creation, there would immediately occur a universal collapse. So not only is he not inactive, it's like he's necessary. He's important, that if he all of a sudden, just quit, or just, kind of decide, oh, well, I'm not going to do this for a while. Everybody else is fine, taking care of everything, which is kind of what I think. Well, I talk about Supernatural. Those two cute boys going out and killing demons and whatnot, right? And meanwhile, there's this. God has left the building. Nobody can find God, because apparently God has abandoned, his creation, and that leads to all these things. That's kind of in that story, but that can't be true. Yeah, everything would immediately collapse. Except for God, there would be no such thing as reality. There would be no such thing as reality. God, at this very moment, as during the remote ages of the past and in the eternal future, God continues to uphold. The divine reach extends around the circle of eternity. The universe is not wound up like a clock to run just so long. The universe is not wound up like a clock to run just so long and then cease to function. All things are constantly being renewed. The Father unceasingly pours forth energy, light, and life. The work of God is literal as well as spiritual. He stretches out the north over the empty space and hangs the earth upon nothing. Okay, so that's very poetic, and just some inner imagery. There would be no such thing as reality. There'd be no reality without the presence of God. A being of my order is able to discover ultimate harmony and to detect far-reaching and profound coordination in the routine affairs of universe administration. Much that seems disjointed and haphazard to the mortal mind appears orderly and constructive to my understanding. But there is very much going on in the universes that I do not fully comprehend. Bless your heart. I have long been a student of and am more or less conversant with the recognized forces, energies, minds, Urantias, spirits, and personalities of the local universes and the super universes. I have a general understanding of how these agencies and personalities operate, and I am intimately familiar with the workings of the accredited spirit intelligences of the grand universe. Notwithstanding my knowledge of the phenomena of the universes, I am constantly confronted with cosmic reactions which I cannot fully fathom. I am continually encountering apparently fortuitous conspiracies of the interassociation of forces, energies, intellects, and spirits, which I cannot satisfactorily satisfactorily explained. So even though, yeah, he's saying, I'm pretty good. I'm conversant with all this stuff. I'm, I can see a lot of things make sense to me that don't make sense to the human minds, but there's still some stuff out there that just seems like, wow, where did that come from? So and I love that about these authors of this book. I don't know if I should call them angels or beings, but they still have it in them to be blown away, kind of, which is so cool, which makes them so much more relatable and makes me love them. Yeah. I am entirely competent to trace out and to analyze the working of all phenomena directly resulting from the functioning of the Universal Father, the Eternal Son, the Infinite Spirit, and to a large extent, the Isle of Paradise. So I get that stuff. My perplexity is occasioned by encountering what appears to be the performance of their mysterious coordinates, the three absolutes of potentiality. Right, the absolutes, the unqualified absolute, the deity absolute, and the universal absolute. These absolutes seem to supersede matter, to transcend mind, and to supervene spirit. I'm constantly confused and often perplexed in my inability to comprehend these complex transactions, which I attribute to the presences and performances of the unqualified absolute, the deity absolute, and the universal absolute. Okay, well, I'd like to help you with that. Yeah, I would. These absolutes must be the not fully revealed presences abroad in the universe, which, in the phenomena of space potency and in the function of other superultimates, render it impossible for physicists, philosophers, or even religionists to predict with certainty as to just how the primordials of force, concept, or spirit will respond to demands made in a complex reality situation involving supreme adjustments and ultimate values. Okay, so they're not fully revealed. The absolutes are not fully revealed presences abroad in the universe. It's impossible to see how these things work. It's kind of, I don't know, I think of them as this engine. I think of them as an engine that's constantly generating and regenerating potentials. And it's out there and it's in everything, and everything is in it too. That's Tao. Maybe I get that better than this angel. Maybe, because I understand. Well, I like to think I understand Tao a little bit. I'm not going to say I'm better than an angel. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm not. There's also an organic unity in the universes of time and space, which seems to underlie the whole fabric of cosmic events. Right. This living presence of the evolving supreme being, this immanence of the projected incomplete, is inexplicably manifested ever and anon by what appears to be an amazingly fortuitous coordination of apparently unrelated universe happenings. This must be the function of Providence, the realm of the Supreme Being and the conjoint actor. Conjoint actor, again, is another name for the Holy Spirit. So, and that has to do with action and mind. Right? Yeah, and all of those put together form the experience of the Supreme Being. Okay. I'm inclined to believe that it is this far-flung and generally unrecognizable control of the coordination and interassociation of all phases and forms of universe activity that causes such a variegated and apparently hopelessly confused medley of physical, mental, moral, and spiritual phenomena so unerringly to work out to the glory of God and for the good of men and angels. So no matter how haphazard, how crazy this business looks, it always unerringly works out to the glory of God and the good, for the good of us all. Even though it's such a mess. I think about like the world now, what a mess we're in with disease and overpopulation and global warming and nuclear this and that. And I'm like, how the heck? But we're talking about we're not just long term, we're talking about eons, like how this is all you know coming through. It's huge, the time scales here. So I have to detach from this little window of space time that I have my experience on and see for a moment that in all of time here, even this chaos and all the suffering here will come to yield a higher purpose or manifestation of something greater than this. That's the only way it makes sense. Wow. But in the larger sense, the apparent accidents of the cosmos are undoubtedly a part of the finite drama of the time-space adventure of the infinite in his eternal manipulation of the absolutes, the infinite spirit. Okay. So this infinite, the Holy Spirit, manipulates and fine-tunes that machine to create these desirable outcomes. Okay, so I just, okay, all we got to do is let it happen, folks. It's all in the works. Okay, it's not up to me. I don't have, I just try to, I'm not perfect. Just try to live, try to, and just let go stuff. So everything's okay. All right. That's kind of like a big picture. God is, everything is ultimately safe. Don't worry. You're cradled in the arms of the Almighty, and whatever you're experiencing, whatever it is, anxiety about the future of humankind is like top on my list. But it's gonna be what it is. Yep. We should try to save the world, but we shouldn't try to hold on to it. We don't know. I don't know if we can save it or not, but we should try. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. Okay, have a good day. Thank you very much. Bye.